Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Wellness Blueprints. I'm Jess Milner. I'm so glad you're here to nourish your roots with me. And I wanted to talk today a little bit about weight loss, these weight loss journeys. And okay, so there's a ton of stuff out there. Okay. There's lots of people out there that they run their entire practice, their whole career around weight loss in one way or another. Now, most people that I deal mostly with women anymore. We're usually like going through perimenopause and menopause. So, weight loss can get a lot more difficult right now, as I'm experiencing. But there's a lot of people out there that are, like their whole thing is like, we're going to get you to a healthy, like, blah, 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 blah. And it's not that those are bad things, okay? Because, especially when you're looking to lose weight and when you are overweight and uncomfortable and feeling unhealthy, it just sucks. So, you're looking for somebody who has some expertise in it, who's going to be able to help you. Maybe they can help with this, that, and the other thing. Sometimes different doctors will prescribe things, or, you have, like NLP or hypnotherapy. There's all different kinds of stuff out there. Okay. There's lots of people out there going like, oh, I've got this magic thing. This is the perfect thing. This is what you need. Like, this is the, like, oh, you're going through perimenopause. You obviously need this in order to lose weight. Oh, like you are more than 40 pounds overweight. You obviously need this to lose weight. Okay. So I did have quite a weight loss journey in let's see, about 9 years ago. I actually started to do a workout program at home, and I changed my eating habits and this and that, and weight started falling off of me. And sometimes people ask me, like, well, what were you taking? What supplements were you taking? And blah 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 blah. Like, what did you do? Okay, who wants to know what my magic pill was? You ready? Nothing. I did not take any kind of supplements that was geared at weight loss. I was doing beach body workouts because I have small children, and I had small children then. I still have rather small children now, and I was not going to go to a gym. I know myself well enough to know I will talk myself out of going to the gym. Plus, the gym costs money. So I started off with, like, ordering just one thing, from Beachbody, but then they started to do their like Beachbody on demand thing. You could like, stream everything from home. And that's what I did. And I would do, like whichever program I felt like doing in terms of, my strength and this, that, and the other thing. But really, all I did was figure out how to eat for my body. And I started the weight started to come off, and I'd always had a big interest in food and everything, so I decided, I was like, well, there we go. I'm going to go get my master's degree. I've been trying to figure out what I was going to do it, and I was going to go get it in nutrition because this is perfect. And then everything started to come together for me in terms of a career and everything. However, but I did not take any magic pill. I was doing Beachbody, and people were like, oh, well, you were drinking Shakeology. No, I didn't start drinking Shakeology until I actually had lost pretty much all of the weight. All of it had come off already, and I was like, oh, well, this is an available shake. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody now. Is it the worst one out there? No. But is it necessary? No. So I have done workouts with a pre-workout of some variety. Right now, I do take my Make Wellness Fit peptides, because it's got some green tea in there, and I just like to have like a little bit of boost or whatever, in there, and it helps with soreness and building muscle, retaining that muscle, because I've been talking about the last couple of weeks that we lose our muscle mass as we are getting older, and even when we start to lose weight, we lose muscle instead of fat, and it's like, gee, thanks, that's so fantastic. So that helps with that. But is that what's causing me to build more muscle necessarily? Not really, because I'm still doing the things. So I did not take anything to lose all that weight. And I'm telling you that now. And they're like, oh my gosh, well, what is she going to try and sell us? Well, I don't have anything to sell you that is a magic pill for weight loss. And that's what I want to tell you. Okay. Like, there are people out there who tell you that they have some sort of magical thing. And for some people, it might be a magical thing. Sometimes there are certain things that need to happen for a person. So I started eating differently. The first thing I did was just cut out gluten for funsies, really, not because I needed to, but I cut it out because I was like, you know what? I keep reading that, it can reduce inflammation and stuff like that. And I had real bad IBS. So I was like, let me cut back on that. So I lost like 5 pounds of like bloat in my belly in the first like week and a half just from cutting that part out you know but I was making sure that I was actually getting in like a good serving or two of fruit every day. I was making sure I was getting adequate vegetables, and I was making sure that like the veggies, the salad had a big portion of the plate, plus my proteins had a nice big like decent portion of the plate, and much smaller. I did not go carb free. Okay, it was not like, I mean, was it lower carb? Yeah, because that's what works for me. For my body, I tend to get into the neighborhood of insulin resistance when I overconsume a whole bunch of carbohydrates and stuff every single day. So it's not to say that I don't, I mean, like I was at a Memorial Day barbecue yesterday and I ate a burger. Actually, I ate like a burger and a half because my 7-year-old didn't finish his. So I sat there and finished his. Um, and did I eat potato chips? Yes, yes, I did. Did I eat a cookie? Uh-huh. I ate a cookie. So, it's not like I'm like low carb, no carb or anything like that. I have gone through periods where I do stuff like that. I've also gone through periods where I go totally vegan because I want to do some kind of a cleanse. So at certain times, certain people may have to, name their diet temporarily for a therapeutic reason. But aside from that, everybody's going to have something different. So that's why I tell people, like, you don't need to name your diet. Just be a human that eats real food. And that's essentially what I did. I was making sure that the portion sizes and, those were all in the places that they should be for my body because I was figuring out what I needed, what felt good to me. I started to notice, like, when I would do certain moves, that the sides of my torso were not rubbing against my arm as much, and as I was walking through areas of my house, I would notice that like I had more clearance around this, that, and the other thing. Started to notice that I was kind of melting away. So some people even got like concerned with it, like, oh, it took me a year to lose, this 70 pounds, but I didn't take any magical supplements for it. What was I taking? Okay, so I told you I was eating real food. I was paying very close attention and eating real food. And I was, on days where I was doing like an extra difficult workout or something, or like we were being very active that day or something like that, I would eat more because like you're listening to your body. And that's really what there is to it, is listening to your body. If you eat something, you feel fantastic afterwards, you feel fantastic the next day, that's probably something that's very good for your body. And then, you eat something that is not necessarily so good. Maybe you have a little bellyache, you just kind of feel bubbly or a little bit, the taste in your mouth, do you feel blurry and foggy? Like there's just all these different things that you can take note of that you wouldn't necessarily go, oh, it's because of that food that I ate. But you start to notice these things more. So yes, it was about the food. The only supplements that I was taking at the time were, some basic vitamins, which were going to give my body the nutrients that it needed and help my body perform everything that it needs to. Because see, when you nourish your body with things that it actually needs, all of these vitamins, all of these minerals, all of these things that we're taking in, they perform functions in the body. Okay. It's like, it's not just fun. We're not like, just, eat all your vitamins and minerals for funsies. Woo. No, I mean, no, that's not why, because you literally require them for your body to do things properly. So that's all that I was doing. I was, giving, because I was doing the same type of thing for my kids. They had like, I mean, there was probably some kind of a probiotic in there, and it's not even anything that I would like recommend now because I wasn't a practitioner then. So I didn't have like access to all of those things. So, I was, it was probably like Garden of Life, like women's vitamin and like just a couple of things. But what I was doing was giving my body what it needed so that all of the toxicity that was there, because I wasn't piling more crap on top of all the crap that was already in there. I mean, come on now, we're all full of crap. All right, like we're all, and not just in your digestion, like we're full of it. Okay. So when you are focusing on cleaner options and you're giving your body the nutrients that it needs, you're naturally going to start getting rid of things. And I know I've mentioned this before, but that's, in your fat, in your adipose tissue, we hold on to a lot of toxic things. It's a storage place. I mean, it serves a purpose as well. We need those things in there. That visceral fat, you don't want there to be too much, but there has to be some. You got to protect the organs. It actually, it's the visceral fat. It's almost like an organ in itself because it does all of these things. All these bodily processes are dependent on that. But when it's overrun with toxins and stuff, it's not doing that. It's hanging on to it. It's hanging on, just like people like, oh, well, I hardly ever eat and I'm still holding on to all of this. A lot of the times it's a toxicity thing. It can also be a hormonal thing. So with me, because at this time I was, oh my gosh, how old am I now? I'm 44 now. So I guess I was like 35. Yeah. Yeah. I guess I was 35. So I didn't have the exact same hormonal issues as I do right now. However, part of my issue with my health journey has always been hormones. It has been, because I was on birth control for so long. My body was like, "What do you mean you want me to work now? You told me not to work for the last like 12 years. Now you want me to work? Get out of here." So, we had our issues, my husband and I, with fertility and all this different stuff. But really, it woke us up to what was going on inside of our bodies so that we could do better for ourselves. And now we're able to do better for our kids. And now I'm helping you do better for you. So it really all was boiling down. Just, oh my gosh, my hair is doing whatever it wants. If you're watching on YouTube, it's just like, look, woo. Um, I apologize. I didn't take any notes for today. So if I get off, I'm just kind of like winging it here today because this is something that I can talk about because I was able to keep that weight off. I had my fourth son and I was still able to keep it like, I mean, I dropped the weight after having him relatively quickly. So, that was like, wow, like I didn't really expect that. So I did have, like hormonal things going on. And I knew that it was something hormonal because I was so overweight and so uncomfortable and trying so hard. If you watch any of my, if you watch any of my shorts and stuff on here and on all the other socials and everything, you'll see like some skits and stuff about it, but I had issues with, with fertility and I was overweight and they were like, oh, your labs are all fantastic. I don't know what's going on, and I mean, once they ran the hormones, they're like, well, you're not ovulating. And I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. So it was always kind of a hormonal thing. And when I got pregnant with my daughters, the first the first 8-12 weeks, you couldn't tell that I was pregnant, but I dropped so much weight. People are like, wow, you got so much thinner. And it's because my hormones started behaving themselves because they were producing for a baby. So like I didn't have to hang on to all of this extra grossness, because when you have like these hormonal imbalances, right? So when I started to eat more clean foods and eat more right for my body, which, it may not be the same for you. Some people can handle a lot more carbohydrates than I can. And some people can handle, like some people want to eat mostly meat, some people eat mostly veggies. I mean, everybody is going to find their spot in the middle for like, what that sweet spot is for what their body actually needs. So it's going to be different. But as we get into, now, for me, now, I'm well into my 40s, I suppose I have to say it that way. Yeah. So here I am. And the same things that I was doing before weren't necessarily working, but I think that it's really just because of, it's a different kind of hormonal hurdle that we need to begin to get over. So I have now I have started to realize what that means for different people, including myself. So, maybe it's going to be something that like you need something in particular, for example, like a hormone reset, which is, like taking vitamins basically that are made out of food that help to reset your hormones, like on like basically it's the HPA axis is what we're like working with there, just to support all of the things and everything. So there are like multiple different options for things like that, but the thing is it's going to be different for everyone, and not everyone is going to have to necessarily do any of those things, because if you know how to eat and you're running, so there, I mean, we can look at lab tests to see what's going on inside the body. Like, okay, well, I see insulin resistance here, so that's going to tell me that we're probably going to need to lower down on some of the carbohydrate intake and be mindful of what types of carbs that person is going to take in, and see if that gives them any relief. Obviously you're not going to probably drop weight like that necessarily, but you might start to notice other things going on that are telling you, hey, like we're making some progress, right? Maybe a clearer mind, or better digestion, your skin is starting to clear up, those kinds of things, because it's really just going to cascade down. But we can look at lab work. I have just learned about a brand new brain DNA test, which is it's a cheek swab, and it will let you know things like, do you even produce this hormone? Are you producing this what neurotransmitters are you not working with, or not working properly in your body? Because if you're not producing serotonin, then like we could give you everything in the world to help your body, it's not going to work. So then you will be more targeted and everything, and then we're going to know exactly what we need to do so that you can figure out what your body needs. And that's what that that's what that test will help us with because it's like really, really targeted on stuff like that. But lab work, all of it, like there's so many answers inside of there. Your quantum frequency blueprint, that's another way to, because that's going to handle that energetic blueprint. But really what you're doing is you're figuring out what your rhythm is. Yours, not mine, not Susie's, not Lori's, not like, not, I don't know. We could name all the names in the world. No one else's but yours. Your rhythm is different from anyone else's. So I would never go like, oh, here's my this is my weight protocol. Like even, like I have offered things that are like called, like the divine weight release journey and things like that, that's fine. If that's what you're going for, like we can do that. But your program's not going to be the same as anybody else's because I'm not looking and going, how can we help her lose weight? No. I'm looking at it and going, what's going on with her body? What does it need? How can we nourish her body so that it's getting all the things that it needs so that it can function optimally? Because that is what's going to result in the healthier weight, is when we help the body get what it needs so that it can get rid of what it doesn't and do all the stuff that it needs to do, like quit being lazy. It's like your body's not being lazy. Your body's doing other stuff to make up for other stuff and other stuff and other stuff. And, when your body's just compensating for things all over the place, left, right, up, and down, things get kind of chaotic and you're sitting there going like, oh my gosh, I can't handle this. Right. So it can get to be a lot. So I can help you decode some of that stuff, help you get out of some of your like limiting beliefs of like, oh, well, I'm just destined to always be fat, or, like it never works for me. When will it be my turn? Because believe me, I was over there. I was like, I watch all these people, they do this, that, and the other thing. They did this workout program. They did this diet. Here's all their before and after pictures. And, I would try those things and maybe lose like 2-3 pounds. And it was just so freaking frustrating. Right. And honestly, I think that like some of my hormone like reset was the pregnancies that I had, because how often have you heard about that? Like, oh, you, like went through all this infertility stuff. And then once finally had a baby, everything started working a little bit more properly. It's like your body was like, oh, right, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And it also would depend on, what other kinds of things you're doing. I mean, Tim and I got rid of a lot of certain ingredients and stuff like that. We started to become a lot more aware of what we were bringing into the house and putting on and inside of our bodies. So, we naturally were starting to like get rid of some of those things. And this was before I knew that like sometimes you need to detox this and that. Like it had nothing, it didn't have anything. There was no like intention with it like that. It was just kind of like, we need to be healthier because our bodies weren't working properly. So we need to be healthier so that they will work properly. Like that was my logical thinking. And there we go. Then I ended up with these, so I think that probably had a little bit to do with it. As far as like a hormone reset. But as you're getting into perimenopause, you're probably not thinking about, having another baby just to reset your hormones. So, at least I'm not. So no. So, there could be some things like that happen. But it's not for everybody. And it's not going to work the same way for absolutely everybody. So I'm going to make sure that anything that you do with me is going to be completely catered to you. And then I'm here to be your cheerleader. I mean, whatever it is that you need, like I'm going to help you out with that, so if you are somebody who you're like, I've got this blood work, what can you tell me? Because my doctor says everything is totally fine, but I can't seem to lose weight. And this is really frustrating. So I can take a look at that. I can pair that up with your quantum frequency blueprint. If you wanted to do the DNA test too, you could, for the brain test, you could do that too. We can combine all those things together and be like, oh my gosh, here we go. We have this picture of what's going on. Let's find your rhythm. Because that's what we need, is your rhythm. So I'm just going to, let's see, what am I going? So go over to my website if you want to book any kind, like wherever you want to start. You want a quantum frequency blueprint. You want to talk to me more about magnetic quanta or magnetic quanta precision. You want to do an emotion code or body code. You're going to go to deeprootedwellnessid.com. Okay. You'll be able to schedule things from there. So that is for that. Or, like if you schedule a quick call with me, like that's free. Like we can just like have a quick call and just like chat about stuff. We can even chat through Messenger or whatever. Like if you don't want to get on the phone, your kids are all screaming or whatever. I understand. Like we'll make it work. We can have a chit chat. Okay. For sure. To see what it is that you actually need. Okay. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about like that quantum frequency blueprint and what it is that we're going to go after, and how that is going to help you with like these misunderstandings that you've always had that, we all struggle with in one way or another. Because it's by design like that. Okay. But, oh, okay. So what else am I going to offer you? Okay, free download. For my protein, if you are, trying to lose weight, if you are like I did a show on this a couple weeks ago. If you are going through perimenopause and menopause, we do need to be eating more, particularly some more protein. We do start to lose muscle and everything like that. So if you would like a guide on protein for women in this beautiful age as we are, go to go.deeprootedwellnessid.com/protein, and you can download that free PDF. Okay. And if you would like emotional balance toolkit, I love this thing. It's just $7, super easy to carry around with you, and it can help you keep yourself together when you're about to totally lose your shit. Although, sometimes it's okay to lose your shit because we don't want to get all full of shit and then we have like this shit show explosion, and nobody likes that. But for the most part, we want to try and keep it together and in a healthy way. We don't want you to keep it together in a way where you get all these emotions trapped in, and then you got to like get more, like release more emotions and everything like that. You got enough of that. Don't worry. You got enough of that without even trying. So if you want to get that emotional balance toolkit, you're going to go to go.deeprootedwellnessid.com/balance. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Go ahead and click love, like, subscribe, share it with a friend. Please leave me an awesome review. And thanks so much for stopping in. And let me tell you, if you've got weight to release, I've got you. I've done it before. And sometimes you need a couple supplements, sometimes you don't. I'm telling you, it's about health, not weight loss. And when we can figure out what's going on underneath that surface, it's going to be, dare I say, a piece of cake, easy as pie. Are those just mean things to say? I'm talking about, I don't know. I don't know. But all that said, it's totally okay to have a piece of cake or a piece of pie, even while you were trying to lose weight, because as far as I know, we're only doing this life thing, once at least that we can remember. So enjoy some stuff while you're here. Okay. All right. So it's not the end of the world if you have a piece of cake while you're on your weight release journey. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for stopping in. Come back soon.